Just give it a second here and we should be ready to go. And we should be live streaming, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. My name is Jim Holland, and I am the village president, a title more commonly called mayor. In accordance with Public Act 101-0640, 5 ILCS 120/7E, this Village of Frankfort Special Village Board meeting will be held both remotely and in person, based on the gubernatorial disaster declaration and the president of the Village of Frankfort determining that a full in-person meeting is not practical or prudent. Members of the public will be able to attend the meetings in person, but the village will enforce any capacity restriction in effect due to any applicable gubernatorial executive order. The general public will be able to view and participate in the meeting remotely as well. As we have in the past, we are following the governor's executive order, which restricts gatherings inside to no more than 10 people. This effectively means that we need to hold this meeting remotely. You can find instructions for how to join us and how to make public comments on the homepage of our website at frankfortil.org. Or you can find the information posted on the front door of the Village Administration Building, where it has been posted since last Friday. Public comments for this meeting that were received in advance will be read. Zoom participants who want to speak will need to push the button that says raise hand, and we will then recognize them. Phone participants can speak by pressing *9 on their phone. Anyone at the village boardroom can raise his or her hand to speak. So with that, we call this meeting to order and we ask our clerk, Brian Feary, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Holland.
Here.
Trustee Ogle.
Here.
Trustee Clavio.
Present.
Trustee Farina.
Here.
Trustee Petro.
Here.
Trustee Severia.
Here.
Oh, hold on.
As I'm mute.
Trustee Borelli.
Here.
Porfiry is here. Attorney Mahoney is here.
Here.
Chief Barica.
Present.
And Rob Pisha.
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our last regular meeting, and that was on November 16th.
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion by Trustee Ogle and a second by Trustee Petro. And we'll go to, any discussion, any comments? Then we'll go to our clerk, Brian Feary, for the vote.
Trustee Borelli.
Yes.
Trustee Clavio.
Yes.
Trustee Farina.
Yes.
Trustee Ogle.
Yes.
Trustee Petro.
Yes.
Trustee Severia.
Yes.
Motion carries.
This evening, we're here to discuss and vote on one issue that came before our Operations Committee, and we'll go to the chair of the Operations Committee, Trustee Borelli, for a report on this issue.
Mayor, I don't have the information in front of me. I apologize.
Well, I certainly do.
Okay.
Or if someone else wants to handle this, well, then I'll handle it.
Thank you. Sorry.
What this is about is a very interesting issue for our community. And I'll read what I have here and then make a couple of comments about it. but it is a debt authorization ordinance. At the November 10 Operations Committee meeting, Administrator Pisha presented a draft debt authorization ordinance for committee review and consideration. He reported as part of the village's initiative to identify and potentially replace privately owned lead service lines that may be connected to residences and businesses. The village applied to fund the project through the IEPA's, that's the Illinois Environmental Protection Association's Public Water Supply Loan Program. He noted the village does not utilize lead lines as part of the Frankfort village's water distribution system. This ordinance authorizes the village to borrow funds up to $4 million, and it is anticipated the project's costs are eligible to be entirely funded by the loan with, really strangely, 100% principal forgiveness to the village. Administrator Pisha explained that once the ordinance is passed, the village will publish a notice and give electors 30 days to object to the loan. He stated that an objection will require 10% or 1,517 registered voters to sign a petition. If such objection is filed, it will be placed on the ballot for voter consideration, and that ballot would be this April's ballot. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to approve the debt authorization ordinance as presented, subject to final legal review. So first, I'm going to entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of the Operations Committee, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance authorizing loan agreement, Public Water Supply Loan Program, non-home rule entity, to borrow funds from the Public Water Supply Loan Program.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
We have a motion by Trustee Borelli.
Second.
And we have a second, I think, by Trustee Ogle. So, a very interesting program indeed. First thing, we're required to take out a loan to get the program, but the loan is going to be forgiven. So we don't have to pay it back. So that's a pretty good deal. But most importantly, what this is about is getting these lead service lines out of our community. We know there are certain homes, older homes in Frankfort, they have to be old because you could not use lead in modern times in plumbing. But some of our older homes do have lead service lines. Understand the village of Frankfort does not own any lead pipes whatsoever. These are on private property and they go from the street to the person's home. This program, we hope, will eliminate all of those pipes in the village of Frankfort. So that's what this is all about. And it's a very good program indeed. I believe there's federal government money that's going to the state of Illinois, and the state of Illinois has chosen to get it down to the local level in this type of program. So with that, are there any other comments from the trustees or any other discussion? Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the explanation of this. And I just wanted to applaud staff for really being on top of this program, putting together the right plans, making sure we have a special meeting to get this all passed in time, because truly this is utilizing these programs that are available at the state in a really timely fashion that's going to benefit the residents of Frankfort.
Great comment. Thank you. Anyone else? With that, we will go to our clerk, Brian Feary, for the vote.
Mr. Mayor? Mayor
Yes.
Holland? Okay. Trustee Severia?
Yes.
Trustee Petro?
Yes.
Trustee Ogle?
Yes.
Trustee Farina?
Yes.
Trustee Clavio?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And that was the key piece of business for this evening. And that brings us to the part of our meeting we call public comments. Did we get any written public comments this evening?
Mr. Mayor, no written comments for this meeting. We do have one person attending in the audience, resident. And if that resident would like to ask a question, I ask that he please raise his hand so he can be recognized and I can let him attend the meeting.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yep, I think we're good, Mr. Mayor.
Very well. Then at this time, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn to executive session for 5 ILCS 120/2C1, and that's for personnel.
So moved.
So moved.
We have a motion by Trustee Petro, and who is the second? Trustee Ogle is the second. We'll go to our clerk, Brian Fury, for the vote.
Trustee Clavio,
Yes.
Trustee Severia,
Yes.
Trustee Ogle,
Yes.
Trustee Borelli,
Yes.
Trustee Farina,
Yes.
Trustee Petro.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So at this time, we are going to go into executive session for personnel. And what will happen is each one of us, most of us, will sign out of this meeting so that we can sign into another meeting. And we'll leave this meeting running on the television while we're in executive session. And then we will come back to this meeting once we're finished with our executive session. So that's where we're going. And at this time, I'll leave the meeting, and so should all the trustees. Well, we're sure getting fast at this.
Okay.
We're missing Jess.
Yes, and Mr. Mayor, there is one panelist, there was one person that has been watching the meeting, so
Oh, good. Oh, we'll wait. We're for the panelists. For anybody watching this meeting, we're just in executive session, and we just came out of executive session. And to do that, we go to a different Zoom meeting. So we're waiting for all of the trustees to come back into this meeting. Well, we won't wait very much longer. There we go. We are now back in open session. And so I would ask if there's any other business for this special meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. And Rob, let's ask once again if there are any comments from the public.
If the panel attendee would like to raise their hand if they have a question, they can certainly do that and they can address that to the board.
And if not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Second,
We have a motion by trustee Farina and a second by trustee Clavio to adjourn. We'll go to our clerk, Brian Feary, for the vote.
Attendee would like to raise their hand if they have a question, they can certainly do that and they can address that to the board.
Trustee Borelli,
Yes.
trustee Clavio,
I would entertain a
Yes.
motion to adjourn.
trustee Farina,
So move.
trustee Ogle,
Yes.
We
trustee
have
Petros,
trustee Farina.
Yes.
trustee Savaria.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Brian Feary for the vote. Now, that's all designed. We have to have the vote that way, a roll call vote to make sure we all understand what's going on. You can't understand anything that's going on. Anyway, this meeting is adjourned.